Awesome Rider Review.
Hey YouTube, Awesome Rider here with my review of S.H.Figuarts Luke Skywalker from Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. You can pretty much tell by his clothing and hand and whatnot. So I think this is the second Star Wars figure I've reviewed. Yeah, that sounds about right. So let's go ahead and just dive right into it. Just taking a very quick look at the packaging. It's pretty generic. It's the smaller little packaging. It's just kind of generic black with some designs around it, which obviously everything fits within the Star Wars theme and everything. It's just like I said, pretty generic. You got a picture of Luke here on the side, and then on the back it shows you some of the poses you can get him in. That's one of his alternate heads. It shows both of them. It shows you can have him fighting your Vader figuart, and it also comes with an alternate head for Vader when he removes his helmet at the end of Return of the Jedi. So yeah, nothing too spectacular there. Accessories-wise, he comes with a decent little bit. If you can see on him, he's got his lightsaber right now, which is the core hilt of it, which he has, which clips onto his belt, which I'll show in a minute. And he's got a variety of hands. I switched out a couple of them. Here, of course, you get the generic closed fists and stuff like that, and then you have open palms as well for both versions. You have holding lightsaber hands, and then you've got like this is I guess it's not really worth showing because it's the same hand just with the glove on it, but also holding lightsaber hands. But then you have the ones on him, like right now, like I have the closed fist robo arm and the sort of open-handed regular arm. And then you have an alternate head in addition to the one that you get with him, which, as you saw it on the back of the box, which is from when he's fighting on Tatooine, if you can remember that scene. It's pretty recognizable. The head sculpt, I have to say, on this guy is pretty solid. I think they did a really good job of capturing Mark Hamill. And this one I don't think is bad or anything. I just think it looks a little bit creepy compared to the main one. I'm not entirely sure what it is. Maybe it's the eye placement, but there's definitely something a little creepy about it for me personally. And his hair's like super golden. It's like Super Saiyan golden. Like, it reminds me of the really old Dragon Ball toys that they used to have where the Super Saiyan hair was like super golden. For sure. And you can separate this out and switch stuff around, so that's a thing. Let's close that up. And then here is the alternate Vader head from when you open, or when he takes his mask off at the end of episode 6, and it's pretty well detailed. If you can see this, his face details are really well done. You can even see his mouth down there. It's kind of hard to see because of the light of the camera, but then you got his burn marks and stuff, and his genitals were burned off on Mustafa. But yeah, it's pretty well done, and you can switch it out with your Vader head pretty easily. It's pretty funny, like, when I got this in box, like, I knew it was coming with it, but, like, I almost forgot for a second, because when you open it up, you see the two heads there like this. I'm like, oh, look, alternate heads. There's Luke, and then there's, oh my god. It was terrifying, but it's just kind of funny. And then here is the actual green blade of his lightsaber. You can see, like, you have the top half of the lightsaber, and it switches out really easily, which I'll show. So you don't get, like, two entirely separate ones. You just switch it out. So let's go ahead and take a look at him. Articulation-wise, he's pretty standard Figuarts fare. You know, you have the nice ball joint here for 360 movement, pretty wide range there. You got the little shoulder pad thing here to track it and kind of cover up the joint a little bit. Swiveling here at the arm, double elbow joint. You have a nice little ball joint at his fists. You have nice leg joints as well with a nice ball joint going on in the swiveling and the double knee joint, and his foot is on a nice little ball here, so you get a good range of motion there. You have what I call the toe action joint, which bends at the toe. These ones are a little stiff. You can hear it squeaking a little bit. It was a little tough to get. He's got articulation at his waist and chest, so a solid range of motion there as well. Neck and head articulation, making for some good movement. Also, and no loose joint problems to speak of. It's a very solid feeling figure. I'm pretty pleased with it. Here is the lightsaber hilt, which is pretty well detailed, if you can see. It's really nicely done, and the silver paint, I think the camera's actually picking it up pretty well. The silver paint actually looks really nice. It's got a nice shine to it. So they did a good job there, and there's a little hole there right here, which is where you clamp it onto the belt, which I guess I'll show the lightsaber thing right now just to get it out of the way. It's pretty simple. You just pull the top off and swap it out really easy, so then you can have him actually holding his lightsaber if you want. Super easy to do. Okay, whoops, that fell over. But yeah, and then detail-wise, like I said, they did a pretty good job, I think, on his likeness. Now that I'm looking at this one looks super creepy, like he's got bags under his eyes, but like figures like this, you know, when they do a human likeness, always has a degree of offness in most cases. But I think for the most part they did a good job of capturing his likeness, and it wasn't too far off or too creepy, just a little creep factor. Like I said, his hair is definitely golden. It's like, it's pretty accurate, but I think because of the twilight quality, it's almost too golden. Like I said, those Super Saiyan figures. And his outfit's pretty well done. They have some really nice cloth detailings here, where it's not made of cloth, but I mean, like, you know, how you can tell where it folds and stuff. And I think they did a really good job of capturing the look of it. His boots are super shiny. But yeah, it's just got a real nice, realistic feel to it. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with this figure. I really don't have too many complaints. I'm not 100% blown away. Like, I know with Vader, I think I talked about how I did like the figure, but I felt like for the money you're paying for Vader, you could have gotten maybe a little bit more, I guess. I mean, I don't feel that way as much about this one. Like, he's a very solid figure. I don't have anything too spectacular to say about him in terms of like, oh my god, you have to own this figure, it's a must-buy, zong. But he's a very, very solid figure. Figuarts Articulation is always great. And the details on him are very well done. He looks good. There's no QC issues on mine in particular, so I'm very pleased with it. I think it's a very, very nice Luke figure. And if you are in the market for a well-articulated, well-detailed Luke figure, I definitely can recommend it. I think it's very well done. Like I said, there's nothing in particular astounding that stands out, but it's definitely a good Star Wars figure art. But anyway, that's about it. Until next time, make sure to check out the Crazy Podcast at writersrangersrambles.com. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, Dawson Ryder, signing out.